Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And I'm just going to dive right on into this 2020 document. This is from the International Monetary Fund, aka the IMF. And this does go back all the way to June of 2020. And we do see DLT experiments in payments and settlements. Now, what's interesting about this PDF is ultimately the summary that they put here. You guys are more than welcome to go check this PDF file out if you want, but nonetheless, I'm focused on what's actually happening around payments, around just technology itself and the evolution of it. And we do see major transformations in payments and settlements have occurred in generations. The first generation was paper-based. Delivery times for paper instruments took several days domestically and weeks internationally. The second generation involved computerization with batch processing. Links between payment systems were made through manual or file-based interfaces. The changeover period between technologies was long, and still some paper-based instruments like checks and cash remain in use. And the key here is the fact that, this does take some time. The change does take time. It's over a period of time, and those that can hold out, will be rewarded. And when you see the third generation, which has been emerging, involves electronic and mobile payment schemes that enable integrated, immediate, and end-to-end payment and settlement transfers. For example, real-time gross settlement systems have been available in almost all countries. DLT has been viewed as a potential platform for the next generation of payment systems, enhancing the integration and the reconciliation of settlement accounts and their ledgers. So far, experiments with DLT experimentations point to the potential for financial infrastructure to move towards real-time settlement, flatter structures, continuous operations, and global reach. Testing in large value payments and securities settlement systems have partly demonstrated the technical feasibility of DLT for this new environment. The projects examined analyzed issues associated with operational capacity, resiliency, liquidity savings, settlement finality, and privacy. DLT-based solutions can also facilitate delivery versus payment of securities, payment versus payment of foreign exchange transactions, and efficient cross-border payments. It's very interesting, especially around a lot of these areas, because a lot of people pretty much don't know the values behind some of these areas. For example, securities, there's quadrillions of dollars worth of securities settled on a yearly basis. In fact, we've actually just recently talked about it. It's roughly around I think it's $2.5 quadrillion now per year. It's wild. And when we really kind of look at payment technology, it is emerging here around DLT. Over here, we do see cross-border payments, $156 trillion. This was in 2022. What's wild about this is technology is here to disrupt this market. And it's a market that is ripe for disruption due to customer demands, emerging market growth, and even financial inclusion. And, I think that as we really kind of look at what's happening, especially around what Ripple is doing with XRP, we do see new specialized players are challenging the dominance of incumbent banks by offering innovative solutions to traditional pain points. And just like David Schwartz said, they don't like that. So what do you think they do? They call on their regulatory buddies and they go after it. I think that that's what we're kind of seeing right now. We do see responding to market shifts will require new competitive strategies, which may include acquisitions and collaboration as well. Now, this is one market. We also just talked about OTC derivatives. This is a $632 trillion area of opportunity. We also looked at, just settlement of securities themselves, which is a $2.5 quadrillion opportunity as well. The amount of money here is so vast. And also, remember, going all the way back to 2021, we did see over here, World Economic Forum, blockchain could disrupt $867 trillion in traditional markets. The opportunity could be substantial for an already fast-growing crypto industry with a current market capitalization currently around 2.3 trillion. Today we are at, I think about, the last time I looked, it was 1.2 trillion, I'm pretty sure. But But you see, all assets will eventually be tokenized, from stocks to bonds to commodities. At least that's the perspective of many crypto industry executives who predict the most, if not all, of modern finance will eventually run on digital rails. I've said it myself. I think that this is where crypto stands at this current moment in time. I do believe that we will see pretty much everything digitized and tokenized, and it's only a matter of time. And I think that it's going to be very exciting to watch this future unfold before our eyes, and it's only going to happen, it's going to really start day by day by day, and it's going to take some time, but soon, rather than later, we will see this future unfold. And we do see, while greater digitization is inevitable, substantial headwinds may continue to limit adoption of DLT solutions, including limited leadership, buy-in, and uncertain business cases. The need for significant restructuring of business operations, challenges relating to bridging legacy, keyword here, bridging, legacy systems with new solutions, and perceptions about regulatory uncertainty. So the big ones that I get from here, obstacle-wise, is obviously regulatory ideas, and then also the bridging, which we've already seen bridging happening through Quant, for an example. I think that Quant is the key here for it all. But you see, in all, it works out to about $870 trillion. Equity markets, 95 trillion. I think that these are now worth a little bit over that. It might actually be a little bit less now that I think about it, because of stocks taking a little bit of a hit. Debt markets, 106 trillion. I think that that's actually even more now too. Debt has grown rapidly. Securitized products, 10 trillion. Derivatives, we already know this has grown. It was 560 trillion. It's now 632. Very large growth there, almost 100 trillion itself. Securities financing, repurchase agreements, 4 trillion. Securities lending, 2.9. Asset management / fund administration, 89 trillion. So again, like this grows day by day by day, and it is only a matter of time until we start to see a lot of this money trickle in. And what's crazy about all of this? So the World Economic Forum, we already know that Ripple is a partner of theirs. This goes back to August 2022, and a lot of people want to look at this. You can look at this in a good way. You can look at it in a bad way too. I mean, to me personally, I think that this is, it definitely is a no surprise, right? Like if we actually look at what's happening around the overall financial system, it's changing. It's becoming, evident now, even more than what we've seen back in like 2017, 2018, all the way up until around roughly, I want to say like 2021. A lot of people are kind of looking at crypto as just like, it's whatever. But now I think more than ever before, we have this big idea of what crypto is becoming. And it is becoming, to me personally, the infrastructure that tomorrow's world will be built upon. And I think that it's kind of agreeing with, what we've seen over here, where, almost everything will eventually run on digital rails. And I think that that is the case. It's very similar to what the IMF is saying over here, like how we have this third generation technology that will, bleed into every industry, every single sector. And what's wild is that if you actually look at the announcement from the World Economic Forum around this, here we have November 8th of 2021. Here's how companies can make sure they are blockchain ready. What's crazy is that this is just a few months after this. And we do see, in recent years, let me zoom in real quick. Many of the world's biggest enterprises in the finance sector and beyond have adopted blockchain technology. Companies that are not integrating blockchains into their processes are at risk of being left behind. Middleware, such as Oracle Networks, can help enterprises to interact with blockchains and engage with the world of decentralized finance. And I think that almost every single company, every single business will be utilizing crypto tech. I mean, that's a no-brainer. They can fully digitize their workflows, which makes a lot of what is happening internally a lot more efficient. And we do see the technology adoption race is on. There's a growing consumer demand for all sorts of new sectors within the blockchain space, including DeFi, NFTs, the emergent smart contract applications. There's so much here, right? Like, you can look into insurtech, environmental sustainability, real estate, all of that. Like, you can even look at tokenization as a whole. I mean, like, that area of opportunity is so vast. But we do see market intelligence organization Block Data recently concluded that over half of the world's top 100 banks by assets under management now have some type of blockchain and cryptocurrency exposure. Like, it's only a matter of time. Like, I would argue that in the next 5 to 10 years, as they do even say here, like, we could see digital assets being the dominant force around fiat currency, or I shouldn't even say fiat, but around currency itself. Like we even do see here that Deloitte conducted a global blockchain survey, and 76% of respondents believe digital assets would serve as a strong alternative to or outright replacement for fiat currencies. And that's in the next 5 to 10 years. This was written back in 2021. So, this is basically now 3 to 8 years. And, by 2031, this market will look extremely different. And they even do mention that $867 trillion here opportunity. The race is on for enterprises to develop risk-adjusted integration strategies and capitalize on the rapidly emerging blockchain economy. And the first step, look at how wild this is. The first step is custody. In response to growing user demand over the last year, various tools and platforms have been launched that allow enterprises to easily interact with public and private blockchains. Financial institutions in particular have faced increased pressure to offer crypto solutions, and as a result, custody, the ability to hold blockchain-based digital assets securely, has been one of their initial areas of focus. While some companies are still building their own solutions from the ground up, most are realizing that institutional-grade systems already exist and are using partnerships as a quick way to meet consumer demand. And they do mention a few down here that have already kind of jumped in headfirst around crypto custody. But what's wild about this is that crypto custody is the first step. And we recently just seen Ripple acquire crypto custody startup Medico for $250 million. And Ripple has been a leader around the space, especially around DLT adoption. And they want to be a crypto infrastructure. We do see like Ripple will continue pressing our advantage in the areas critical to crypto infrastructure. They want to be the crypto infrastructure of tomorrow. They want to be the main player here, and they understand that. Like, they understand how, huge of an opportunity this actually is. And, Medico has been working with institutional customers for so long, especially around enterprise grade solutions, crypto, orchestration, trading, and even more. Again, this is a huge step for them. And then after this, you do kind of focus on DeFi as the next frontier. We already know that DeFi is a big area. And also, Ripple has been focused on DeFi for a very long time. And the XRP ledger is now getting a lot more development happening from the DeFi space, with a lot of the recent announcements around the development for the XRP ledger. It's best suited for DeFi use cases, so it's only a matter of time until we start to see a lot more of them. There is already some DeFi use cases built out on the XRP ledger, but I expect a lot more to really kind of launch in the next couple months and possibly even years ahead. I think that it could very well be a major DeFi infrastructure, very similar to what we've been seeing with Hedera. I don't think that Ethereum is going to be the DeFi leader for so much longer. A new king will be crowned. And then also future-proofing your adoption strategy with blockchain middleware. Again, this does talk a little bit about Chainlink. Chainlink is also a big one, but I do think that recently Quant has been becoming a leader within the space, and Quant could essentially connect all of these blockchain technologies and all these DLTs to the traditional world, which is a key area of focus. So, with that, there's so much happening here. There's a lot of opportunity. And, as we do look at crypto custody, almost every single major bank, almost every single major company out there is looking into this. We do see over here, May 25th, this just happened recently. German banks slowly adopt crypto, mostly for institutional investors. Institutional investors are going to be the ones that have, the first foot on the ground. I think a lot of what we are seeing around crypto is kind of to bleed out the retail sector so that the institutional, investors can jump in. We've also heard about JP Morgan manipulating these markets for so long, saying, hey, we're not touching Bitcoin. Meanwhile, on the back end, they are. It's because they utilize their voice to manipulate these markets and manipulate the retail sector while they are aping in and buying up a ton of crypto and ultimately building out crypto solutions. But I do think that, institutional investors are the ones that are going to reap the rewards the best because they are already ahead of most. And also, by the way, over here, check this out. May 22nd, digital assets, LMAX Digital, Zodia Custody to provide institutional grade trading infrastructure custody solution for coin shares. Again, all of what we are seeing around this space is, a focus on tokenization, trading around digital assets, really allowing for the institutional grade adoption to take place. institutions are very bullish on crypto. They have been for so long. But now it's like in full force. I mean, what we've seen in 2023 is a big focus on institutional grade adoption around crypto and even custody services. Institutions will be custodying crypto. It's as simple as that. Why do you think that a lot of exchanges are being targeted now? It's because the big giants are most likely going to be the ones, that are crypto custodians in the future. And NASDAQ was the big one to watch for because they announced that they will be providing a crypto custody service. This is going to be happening at the second quarter, or in the second quarter of this year, which is a big announcement. I mean, this is huge. So as we do continue to look at what's happening here, yes, crypto is in full force. It's only a matter of time. I know that you guys have been, saying like, we've been hearing about trillions of dollars coming into this space for so long. Slowly at first and then all at once. I'm telling you right now, a lot of this is already happening. We are starting to see money moving in. And I think that it's only a matter of time until we start to see a lot of this money really getting disrupted by, DLT. And I think that tokenization is at the forefront of it all. I'm very excited for Ripple getting in on the custody game as well. I think that Ripple becoming a custodian around institutional grade, assets is going to be very large. Remember, as we do look at what Ripple is doing, they are also expanding their offerings around custodying crypto, issuing crypto, and even settling any type of tokenized asset as well. And that's a big deal. That's a huge deal because all of what we just went over in terms of these valuations, $867 trillion and, derivatives and debt and cross-border payments, like all of this, like tokenization of money is going to be a huge accelerant for cross-border payments to be really disrupted within crypto. And I think that, Ripple has ultimately been focused on cross-border payments for so long. I think that at this point, they are the big giant in the room when we do talk about cross-border payments, but also they are becoming a big giant in terms of like tokenization and DeFi use cases. And there's so much more here. There's so much substance now around Ripple. And I even mentioned that over on Twitter when I was talking about like 2017, 2018, like everyone thinks that there's not going to be an all-time high for XRP ever again. Like, take a step back, look at how much substance there is around XRP and the XRP ledger, and then also look at what Ripple is trying to do with, crypto, and also even the XRP ledger and XRP. There's no doubt in my mind that XRP will be, hitting a new all-time high eventually. And when it does, I cannot wait for that day, because then all of the XRP haters and those that are doubting XRP, all of them will be completely shut up. And I cannot wait for that day. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. This is up to you all. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night. Wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.